guys, Will here with W.T.F Car Reviews, and today we're going to be reviewing this beautiful Ruby Flare Metallic 2022 Toyota Highlander XSE. And before we start, I want to give a huge thank you to Rocky and Ryan here at Stadium Toyota in Tampa, Florida for making this review possible. I'll leave a link to their dealership below, and I'll definitely suggest anybody looking for a new car or truck in the Tampa area to check these guys out and ask for Ryan. And for those of you guys who don't know, the Highlander has been Toyota's midsize SUV since 2001. That's when the first generation was released. The fourth generation, which we see here, has been around since 2020, so it's a relatively brand new vehicle, all updated when it comes to Toyota Safety Sense 2.5, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, as well as additional third row passenger space, so really convenient. The new fourth generation Highlanders are available in 6 different trim levels, starting with the L at around $35,000 all the way to the Platinum, which starts at $47,000. There are going to be 2 mid trims, which are going to be the XLE and XSE. We reviewed the XLE for the 2021 model year. The XSE is going to be very similar. It's going to have much better, in my opinion, styling. We're going to have more aggressive design up front. We're going to have a sport tuned suspension, and with this ruby red flare metallic, absolutely gorgeous color. Let's jump right in. This is a beautiful SUV. Up front, we're going to have full LED headlights, daytime runners too. I'm really liking the black headlight housing. We have some additional lighting beneath. Really beautiful. This red metallic paint, I hope you can pick it up in this Florida sun. Functional air curtain over here to the side. It's not going to be very large, very low amount of actual airflow, if you guys can pick it up in the corner. I am liking the grille, the bottom area with the black design, the top area with the black design, Toyota badge in the center. Solid airflow for the radiator for this 3.5 liter V6. We'll take one more step back. You can take a look at the front styling. Really beautiful. As far as the wheel and tire setup, also impressive for this XSE trim. We're gonna have our 20-inch rims. They can be wrapped in Goodyear Eagle touring tires. Dimensions are going to be 235/55 R20s. So although we have 20-inch rims, we're still going to have 55 series sidewall, which should really help when it comes to the overall ride quality. If you do take this front-wheel drive SUV off-roading, you're going to be protected a little bit with some plastic trim outside of your wheel well. We're not going to have any splash guards, and since this is a front-wheel drive SUV, I wouldn't recommend doing anything too crazy and damaging this gorgeous red metallic paint. We'll take one more step inside so you can see how much it really pops. The mirrors, they're going to be a contrast with a nice black bluish metallic LED turn signal on the mirror. The glass is massive, fills up the entire frame. Blind spot monitoring on the glass. The window trim is going to be completely blacked out for the bottom and top portion. Blacked out A-pillar area too, making the design more aggressive. I wouldn't mind seeing a completely blacked out roof. I love the metallic red, but I feel like a full black roof would really make the side profile on this XSE Toyota Highlander really pop. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. But with the blacked out B pillar, really dark tints for the rear, blacked out C pillar, it still looks really nice. Out rear, more plastic trim around the wheel well, same wheel and tire setup. Only difference is going to be a smaller brake caliper. Plastic trim down for the rear diffuser area, integrates really flushly with this metallic silver. Dual exhaust tip, just going to be a single tip. We're not going to get the quad tips like we get on the Camry XSEs. But I like this rear styling too. LED taillights, turn signal in the reverse light in the middle, XSE badging. Shout out Stadium Toyota in Tampa, Florida. Huge thanks for making this review possible. Highlander badging. We'll take one more step back and let's rev it up a little bit and hear how this 3.5 liter V6 sounds. All right, guys, that was the surprisingly aggressive sound of the 3.5 liter V6 sold by Toyota for this 2022 Highlander XSE. As soon as you figure out this latch, we'll pop up the hood. We're not going to get any struts, unfortunately. Going to figure out the prop rod right here. Pretty convenient location, though, for the prop rod. The engine sits very low. Not quite sure if you can pick it up, just how low that engine is sitting. It's going to help the weight balance. Battery on the driver's side, that's not going to help the weight balance. But we'll check it out once we take it out for a drive. This XSE sport-tuned Highlander has a very satisfying ride. Since the engine is so low in the engine bay and the airbox is also pretty low, not optimal for off-roading, but this isn't really an off-road SUV, let's be honest. So since the intake sits so low, we have an additional funnel which should help scoop up some colder air, helping the performance on this V6 engine, which makes 295 horsepower, 263 pound-feet of torque. Made it to this crisp shifting 8-speed automatic transmission. You can expect 0 to 60 to be in the lower mid 6-second range up to the 7-second range. Since this vehicle is front-wheel drive, it's going to depend 100% on your traction. But we can figure out this prop rod, get it right back into its original location. Drop the hood, take one more step back. Really, really love the front styling on this XSE trim Highlander. As far as the interior, also where this vehicle is going to shine, let's make our way over here and check it out. Again, we're going to have the intelligent access, smart access for the driver, inner front passenger, soft touch materials for the upper part, not the softest, but still a soft touch material, some hard plastic outlining your aluminum door handle, pretty high quality when it comes to resistance. Very soft area over here, not gonna be true leather, but it's gonna be a leatherette material, and it's a very soft spot for your arm. Stitching for where your knee will often hit, very soft. Power one touch for all four, lock and unlock, four-way adjustable mirrors as well. Aluminum strips gonna surround the window controls, and pretty solid storage back here. You can probably fit a 12-ounce bottle with no issues, maybe even a 16. You have one of your premium audio system, this Jbl Sound System, absolutely ridiculous. Toyota's Jbl Sound Systems and their premium audio sound systems are very good. The seats, they're going to be inserted with this cloth microfiber material, making it very soft for the bottom portion and your back. Solid bolstering too. I was extremely impressed with these seats as soon as I sat in them. We're going to find a different location because, as you see, this interior is getting killed with glare, and I'll catch back with you in 1 second. But you can get a good overall look on these seats. The headrest is also going to be extremely soft, fully adjustable too. You're going to have two-way lumbar control. You can recline, drop, lift, and slide the seats down here too. We'll step inside, really check out the interior on this 2022 Highlander. And first thing you notice is going to be the steering wheel. It's going to be really nice. I like the leather stitching. It's going to be reasonably thick up top. It's not going to be a skinny wheel. I like the contrast stitching too. Rubberized material outside of the horn as far as the horn itself. Pretty aggressive. People will definitely be getting out of your way. You can adjust your little heads up cluster with these buttons. Call settings, voice commands, increase the volume of your stereo, skip your songs, adjust between AM, FM, and Sirius, forward collision, lane departure warning, cruise control, all on the steering wheel. The stock's auto headlights, of course, you're going to have no rain sensing wipers, but as the rain gets more aggressive, you can adjust the stock right here. As far as the adjustments for this gauge display, of course, we're going to have a 66-ish 100 RPM tach, 140 on the speedometer, gas tank on the bottom of the speedometer area, coolant temperature on the bottom of the tachometer area. This center display, we see the outside temperature, miles on the vehicle, time, lane departure warning, settings. As far as the adjustments altogether, you can see we're currently looking at me not wearing a seatbelt. I'm not going to put it on for the purpose of this review right now. You're going to have all your advanced safety features. To the left, you have your overall settings, which you can turn off all your advanced safety features. You have the warning information, digital speed, fuel economy, eco indicator, and your digital speed. That's going to be where I personally leave it for this review. Driving support, you can see all your aids at all times with your speedo in the corner. Audio, still with the speedo in the corner, you can see what song's playing. The safety system status includes all your pre-collision systems, blind spot monitor, rear cross traffic alert. You can see exactly what's turned on and what's turned off. And as we mentioned, you can turn on and off all those settings on this screen to the left. But as we mentioned, my personal favorite to look at all times would just be this digital speedometer, so we're going to leave it here. Pretty nice digital display overall. To the left of the steering wheel, we have our auto high beams, tailgate release, which is going to be power stitching for the dash, really high quality trim, aluminum outside of the air vents with some faux carbon fiber trim above it. Soft touch for the entire dashboard except for this upper part of the gauge display. Everything else surrounding it's going to be a very nice soft touch material with that carbon fiber trim, really making this XSE interior look much more sporty and premium. To the right of the steering wheel, we have our engine start stop. The infotainment screen is going to be the old school 8-inch by Toyota. We're going to have a map, which is going to be the same as all Toyotas, very dated, but the response on the Toyota's touchscreens are very, very good. If you don't like the way that the dated screen looks, you can always just use Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which will have your phone's screen. The apps are going to be right here in the corner. Of course, we're going to have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. That's about it. The settings, I'm not going to adjust any of the settings. We'll leave those all up to the owner. You can check all those out over here in the menu. All the settings that could potentially be adjusted. Navigation, vehicle, Wi-Fi, apps, all of that. My personal favorites, look at it all the time, would just be the map. We'll leave it here. The volume button, very satisfying click. Well, it doesn't really click, it's more of just like a consistent way to dial, but feels really good. Heated seats, no cooled seats, that is an option on the higher trims. Dual zone auto climate control, which is nice. You can adjust the vent speed with this little toggle. Hazards, nice air vents. Oops, almost dropped the camera. Pretty solid storage in here. You could probably fit like maybe 6 iPhone Pro Maxes in there, pretty spacious. This would be a decent spot for a wireless charger. That's not where it's going to be, but it's still a great spot to keep your phone. USB port, 2 USB-Cs, 12 volt, good spot for a radar detector. The gear selector controls the 8-speed auto transmission. Drop it into reverse, you can take a look at the backup camera. Not the best resolution and no trajectory, but we're still getting guidance lines. You see just about everything you would need to see. Putting it into drive, the manual shift controls are gonna be right here. We don't get paddle shifters on this XSE. Kind of would be expected. The sport trim for the Highlander should have paddle shifters. I am gonna knock Toyota for that. Should have been included, but we're still gonna have manual shift controls on the gear selector, downshift by pulling back, upshift by pushing forward. I'm sure 99% of people that buy this car couldn't care less about the manual shift controls. The cup holders have aluminum surrounding it, pass through, good spot for an iPhone. Rubberized cup holders, they shouldn't be flying around. Electronic parking brake with brake hold. Drive mode select will start off in normal mode and then transition into sport. See what the differences are. Right back here, you can disable your traction control, snow mode, and you can turn off your auto start stop, which for the purpose of this review, we'll press that button. Center console, pretty soft, not the softest. This is not gonna be an uncomfortable spot for your arms, so I'm not gonna knock them for it, but it's really not that soft. You open it up, you have your wireless charging pad. You can hide that away, and you can see pretty decent amount of space overall. It's gonna be a 2-tier storage. Well, not really a true 2-tier, but you can pull this thing out and you can see there's somebody left their water bottle in there already, but it's extremely deep. You can probably fit at least like 12, 15 of those water bottles. You can probably get a 6-pack of cans above it if you have enough space. Really impressive when it comes to the glove box. I kind of wish I checked that before this review, so all this trash wouldn't have been part of it, but I guess it is what it is. We close this thing up. As far as the glove box, you can open this thing up. It's going to be damped. Not lined with felt, not a big deal. Very spacious, probably fit between 20, 25 license plates. Maybe get a second pair of shoes if you're below a size 10. Very nice. We have the Jbl Sound System, of course, too. This thing is unbelievably good. This Jbl Sound System is one of the best in the business. It's not going to be quite as ridiculous as like the Harman & Kardon's, Bang & Olufsen's with 20 speakers that you see from the high-end luxury manufacturers. But when comparing it to other vehicles in this segment, this has to be one of the best sound systems of them all. Really impressive. If we happen to miss any features, let's take a look at the window sticker really quick. You can see the fuel economy is pretty impressive. 21 city, 29 highway, much better than the 4Runner that we just reviewed in this channel. Standard equipment, 3.5 liter V6, 8-speed auto, 295 horsepower, 5,000 pound towing, just like the 4Runner. 20-inch alloy wheels with temporary spare sport tuned suspension. Standard equipment includes 2.5 plus Toyota Safety Sense, pre-collision system with pedestrian detection, full speed range, dynamic radar cruise control, lane departure alert with steering assist, lane tracing assist, auto high beams, road sign assist, star safety system, blind spot monitoring with rear cross traffic alert, latch lower anchor and tether for children, smart key system with push button start. Outside, black accented LED headlights, LED fog lights, heated power outside mirrors, power liftgate, black roof rails, power tilt slide sunroof with sunshade, sport mesh front grille. We didn't check out the moonroof and sunshade. You can see pretty large. You can open it up by simply pressing this button. That's actually not how you open it up, that's how you tilt it up. But I guess I'll demonstrate that too. You open it up by pressing and holding. It opens up completely automatically. We can poke our way out of here. Pretty nice day right now in Tampa, Florida. It's a little bit windy, but sunny and 65. Definitely nothing to complain about. We can shut it up by clicking it again. We'll leave it open for the purpose of this review. You can see the light that it brings into the cabin. We also get the sport mesh front grille, front and rear lower spoiler. We have twin tip exhaust too. It'd be nice to get dual tips on both sides of the rear end. Inside, we get the Audio Plus. It sounds fantastic with these JBL speakers, 8-inch touchscreen, Bluetooth, USBs all over this interior. Seating for 7, Softex trim seats, so they're not gonna be true leather. But with these cloth inserts, they're very, very comfortable. Heated and power front seats. Third row 60/40 fold. You have the integrated second row windshades, sunshades, wireless smartphone charger, 3-zone auto climate control, auto dimming mirror with garage settings, 14 cup and bottle holders. That's how you know this is a family vehicle. They even advertise how many cup holders they have on the window sticker. 7-inch LED multi-info display, and for all the other features, you can contact Toyota. We're also going to have an upgraded JBL sound system with 11 JBL speakers and subwoofer and amplifier. That's going to be $1,700. You can see everything else, the special colors, and it'll run you an additional $425. After all of that, base price, of course, sitting at $42,200. After a $1,200 destination charge, expect total vehicle price to be sitting at $45,520. Still an excellent value before any distributor add-ons. So for $45,000, this really is one of the more impressive luxury SUVs on the market. The rear view mirror, as we mentioned, is going to be frameless with your 3 garage settings on it. Auto dimming, of course, sunshades with an additional little rear view. It's always tough for me to access that. I'm not quite sure. There we go. Got it. And you have a little back seat passenger. You can see what they're doing at all times, so you don't have to readjust the mirror to keep an eye on your kids. Pretty cool features, guys. That's about it for this front seat. Let's hop out back, see how much space is offered back there. Check out the third row, check out the trunk, and then take this vehicle out for a drive. All right, guys, stepping in the back seat of the 2022 Highlander. We have the sunshades, of course. Everything's going to be hard touch around your door handle, but the areas where the arms will be touching will be very soft, luxurious material. Stitching for the knees will often hit. Most family vehicles prefer the hard touch because it's easier to clean anyway, so definitely not something to knock Toyota on. Auto one touch for the rear. No dual pane windows. We did have dual pane windows for the top of the line Avalon that we reviewed, but not really expected with an XSE. It's still relatively mid trim. The Platinum and Limited trims may have the dual pane windows. We'll check those out at some point too. Solid storage, no cup holders. Unfortunately, you have one of your 11 speakers. You can recline these rear seats. No bolstering, but we are going to have the captain's chairs. We'll check all those out in 1 second. We're still going to have the microfiber cloth inserts, making everything much more comfortable. Taking a step inside, unbelievable legroom. I'm 6 feet tall, sitting behind my seat settings. I still have at least like 6-7 inches of legroom. Mat pockets behind both driver and the front passenger. Third zone, auto climate, 2 USB ports, or two USB-C ports. I apologize for that. Anyway, continue along. We are going to have this little center area. It's not going to be like a true console, but we get 2 cup holders, which is nice. Armrests fold down, and they're not going to be the largest, but they're pretty comfortable to rest your elbows on. Definitely nothing to complain about. That's better for the second row, though. The vents are going to be literally blowing right in your face. Pretty good location for air vents. That's about it, though. You can see the light that gets brought into the cabin thanks to that sunroof. But let's check out the third row, see how much space is offered back there. Check out the trunk and then take this SUV out for a drive. All right, guys, so to get into the third row, you pull this latch on the top of the seat, slide the seat forward, making it pretty easy for someone of my size. Not that easy, but pretty easy for someone of my size to get back here. Put the seat back. Wow. I even have plenty of room in the third row sitting behind the settings that I was just sitting at. The captain's chairs, they also help. I could put my feet out in the center, making it a little bit more comfortable. I wouldn't want to be here for a long trip. I have plenty of headroom. I have like an inch before my head would start to touch. Legroom, I got like an inch or 2. These armrests are going to be hard plastic, 2 cup holders on both sides, which is pretty convenient, but it's still not the most luxurious for somebody that's 6 feet tall. Perfect for small children. If you're under 5'5", I don't think you really have a problem sitting back here for long trips. The center area, we're not going to have a little center cubby, but as you see, we are going to have seating for 7. We're going to have 3 seat belts in the third row. So even though we have the captain's chairs up front, we're still going to have more than enough room for 7 passengers. That's about it, though, for the third row. Let's check out the trunk real quick. Push these seats forward. Pretty easy process getting out of here. Put this right back to where it was. And as far as the trunk, all you got to do is press this tailgate button. And it's going to be an auto opening tailgate. Gives you a second so you're not smacked with it. But there you have it. With the third rows up, you're not going to really have that much space. We can take these floor mats out of here in the meantime, just so you guys can get a good idea of this cargo space. Okay, so here you have it. With the third row up, you're not going to have that much space. You can open up this little secret storage compartment, and you can remove it permanently. So if you want to have a little bit more storage, like you need to have the third rows permanently up, you have a family of 7 people, you need the space, you can always remove this little secret storage latch and have a little bit more. But with third rows down, to put them down, you just push this latch and they fall down 60-40. Not quite sure what to do with this headrest. I feel like the headrest is going to be in the way. Oh, never mind. It automatically folded away. They knew my concern. And same thing on this side. Boom. Pretty spacious back here. I'm saying if you can put those rear seats down, you're probably fitting between a 75 to 80 inch TV. Really good amount of space. The opening is a little bit high though. Like I'm 6 feet tall. My knee is about a good like 6-7 inches before the opening. So if you have older or smaller pets, they may have a little bit of trouble getting back here. You have your JBL subwoofer on the side. Additional speakers in the trunk itself really help it when it comes to the acoustics and sound quality. All right, we got the floor mats back in the trunk. You simply press this button and the tailgate closes up automatically. And as soon as it does, we'll take this 2022 Toyota Highlander XSE out for a drive. All right, guys, now we've just about seen everything we need to see with the inside and outside of this all new 2022 Toyota Highlander XSE. Let's take it out for a drive. And the first thing I notice is gonna be the steering wheel. As usual, the steering wheel feels very nice in your hands. It's very direct, good weight to it. It's not gonna be anywhere near as heavy as the 4Runner. Not to say that the 4Runner has heavy steering. It's not even close to as heavy as like the new Frontier trucks. But the 4Runner definitely has some heft in its hydraulic steering rack. This is gonna be an electric steering rack. but it still has a decent amount of feel. It's not heavy by any means. It's going to be on the lighter end of things, but it's nice. And as far as sound isolation, that 18-wheeler just drove by and I didn't even hear him. No rattling around, like very isolated cabin. I gotta double check these windows one more time. They are not gonna be dual pane. I think I already checked that once, but still the sound isolation in this SUV is fantastic. We're cruising along right now around 35. Handles the bumps pretty well. Those floor mats might make a little bit of noise as we hit some bumps, but it's not the car, obviously. Once the floor mats are taken out of their plastic containers and they're laid around the car, you're not going to be hearing anything from them at all. We have a red light coming up, should give us a great opportunity to see how this SUV can accelerate off the line. We're not going to floor it, of course. Wouldn't want to spin the tires for this front-wheel drive SUV with about 300 horsepower. So we'll lean into it in first gear and just see what the acceleration is like off the line. All right, guys, off the line. Ooh, wow. Wow, this thing can rip. That was like off the line. We leaned into it about halfway and the traction control started cutting us out because there was a little bit of uneven pavement, so the traction control detected a little tiny bit of wheel slippage and immediately downshifted us into second gear. But it felt very quick off the line. It felt quicker, noticeably quicker than the 4Runner that we just reviewed on this channel with the 4-liter V6. That motor I think sounds a little bit more aggressive than this one, but this V6 still sounds pretty good. All right, guys, stepping out into this multiple lane highway, we can take a look at this vehicle's acceleration, half throttle. Wow, we go to about 4,200 RPM. I had to be really exact with that, I don't know why, but about 4,000 RPM with about half throttle. You get to highway speeds really quickly. I am feeling a little bit of body roll, not as much as the 4Runner. The 4Runner had very composed body roll, but you are feeling a little bit of like roll and sway when you sharply turn the steering wheel. But cruising along right now, going about 50 miles per hour. No road noise at all, barely any wind noise. You do hear a little bit of wind, like super minimal amount of wind noise. Right here, sharp turn, we'll slow down a little bit, throw it in. Body roll's definitely there. I feel the body roll for sure. But coming back out, third throttle, bump. Very soft ride, guys. I'll throw on the POV camera in 1 second as we pull over and give you guys a first-hand look driving this 2022 Toyota Highlander XSE, and I'll catch back with you in 1 second. All right, guys, stepping back out in 2022 Highlander, just light acceleration up to the stop sign. Once we get situated, we're gonna have some rough concrete pavement on this road, so it'll give us a great opportunity to see both ride quality and road noise isolation. Just regular acceleration, we don't have to beat it up too bad. I just want to show you guys the road noise. It's quiet. I mean, it's going to be concrete pavement. There's no way to avoid the road noise, but this is a rough road. And it's still a very quiet SUV. I'm impressed. Towards the end of this road, we'll have a roundabout, so we'll be able to see how this vehicle's body roll is, as well as the turning radius. But right here for this rough stretch, really shows the overall composure and great feel of this SUV. Looks like our roundabout has another vehicle. Oh, nope, he's leaving. Perfect timing. And now the roundabout is all ours. Throwing it in right here. Yeah, you can see the body roll is definitely there. You could just, I don't know if it comes up on camera, but it's not going to be as flat as a lot of other vehicles in the segment. And for an XSE trim, I would expect the body roll to be a little bit less apparent. And the turning radius, fantastic, great turning radius. Just like most Toyota cars, really impressive turning radius, but the body roll, I can't say that it doesn't exist. It definitely is apparent. We'll try one acceleration off the line from a first-hand point of view. We're not going to floor it in first gear off the line because there's going to be wheel spin, I can guarantee it. But about half throttle, lean into it. Whoo! Yeah, this sounds good. I'm liking that engine note. It sounds really aggressive. I'm excited to play this video back and hear how that exhaust clip sounds. You guys would have already heard it by now, but I haven't. It sounds really good on the inside. Very nice. It almost reminds me of the VQ engine from Nissan. Really distinctive dual overhead cam variable valve timing V6 induction note and exhaust note. Very special sounding. But again, the road here extremely rough. and it stays very composed, nice and quiet and relaxed. But based on that acceleration run that we just did, I could see 0 to 60 being in the mid to high 6-second range, maybe around 7 seconds if you just get into it, floor it off the line, get a ton of wheel spin and the traction control starts cutting you out. But if you have a good launch, I could see 6.5 to 6.8 seconds on average for most drivers. Definitely not a slouch when it comes to performance for an SUV. All right, guys, stepping back out onto the multiple lane highway. We'll try one more acceleration run once we're situated. Ready? On the gas. Woo! Yeah, this thing can move. We shift that around 6,400 RPM. And now that we're at speed, you can hear that there's a little bit more wind noise. It's apparent. It's not going to be as quiet as the Toyota cars with dual pane windows. You can see the blind spot monitoring taking effect. Now there's a vehicle in the blind spot. The steering feels pretty good at high speeds, comparable to the 4Runner, which is impressive since this vehicle is going to have an electric rack, whereas the 4Runner had a true hydraulic system. But it's nice. I'm liking it. We'll have a sharp one more sharp one. I'll hit it a little bit faster than we should, give you a good sense in this vehicle's body roll. Oh, you can see there's a little bit, but it stays pretty composed, guys. But that's about it. If you're looking for a performance SUV in the segment, there's better ones than this. If I was gonna buy a Highlander trim, I'll probably stick with the XLE, where you get basically the exact same options. However, you're not gonna have the Sport Tune suspension, because even with the Sport Tune suspension, you're not gonna have the best overall handling. So when it comes to luxury, it's fantastic. So I wouldn't want to compromise that. I'd rather have a softer suspension, feel less through the bumps, have smaller rims, fatter sidewall tires. I'd recommend going with the XLE. This trim looks great though. This is one of the best looking SUVs on the road today. I had my eyes on it from the moment that I pulled into Stadium Toyota's parking lot. Really impressive appearance. I definitely think that the design is one of the best in the segment. But when it comes to just performance, the engine's great. Performance when it comes to speed and acceleration, fantastic. But you're getting the same engine in all trims on the Highlander. So if it was my money, I'll probably be going with the XLE that we reviewed in this channel already. So make sure you check it out. Really, really nice SUV. Other than that, I really want to give a huge thank you to Rocky here at Stadium Toyota for making this review possible. Really impressive dealership. I'll leave a link to their inventory below. And if you're looking for a new car or truck in the Tampa area, I would definitely suggest checking these guys out. They're located right next to the Raymond James Buck Stadium. Really convenient location, really impressive dealership. Other than that though, thank you again so much for watching. I had a great time making this video. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making it. Really impressive SUV. Maybe not the best trim level for the Highlander, but it looks unbelievably great. I'm sure we can all agree on that. And the ride quality, the drive, very impressive. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe. If you've already subscribed, thank you so much. You guys know I have endless gratitude for all the subscribers. You know, the channel's just not possible without you guys, and I really appreciate all of your constant support. But again, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Leave a like too. It really helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. That's how these videos get promoted to people. Leave a comment. Let me know what you like. Let me know what you don't like. Leave a comment. Let me know if there's any specific vehicles you'd like to see reviewed in this channel too. And I'll definitely try to get those videos for you as soon as possible. But other than that, again, thank you so much for watching. And I hope all you guys have a great day.